Kale Mitchell recalls his ex-wife being impregnated by other men during their marriage.
Telling me that the baby that was aborted wasn't mine. You are immediately married within a lie already.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So the marriage was never the same after that, was it?
No, it was. This is at the beginning. You know what I'm saying? This is right at the beginning. And so within that process,
She probably should have kept that to herself.
and well, I'm glad she didn't. And so within that process, with that being known, it was just like, yo, with even in being, the pregnancy, she almost died within the pregnancy. So that was a hard time too.
Right.
It was a lot, it was other times. She had gotten pregnant, other things, and it just got to a point.
She had gotten pregnant again?
Yeah.
While y'all were together?
Yeah.
And it wasn't you?
Not with me.
Oh, come on, Kale.
It wasn't me. It wasn't
And
me.
you stuck around?
Yeah, I stuck around. But here's the thing. These were things that were being revealed.
She telling you this?
No.
How do you find this out? I want to know how you found this out. You read a letter you got to the phone?
Yeah, okay. All right, so how that one went, there was a thing where we weren't having sex anymore.
Yo, the Nickelodeon kids be going through some shit, yo.
And we weren't doing anything anymore because...
you weren't having sex. Clearly she was.
Yeah, it's just because of I knew what was going on.
Right.
And I was like, yo, what is even happening? You're not coming home. You're not doing all these different things.
And y'all man, she not coming home.
Yeah.
Oh,
To the phone?
Yeah, but then this was, back then.
Yeah.
We praying for her now. It's all good.
Yeah.
But this is what the process of what I was going through.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
And so now as this is going on, there was a time, get some more soda.
Now I need something stronger than soda, Kale. You telling me that right here.
Go ahead, brother.
I mean, you had one,
Yeah.
you aborted that, but that wasn't yours. She told you didn't know you had one of your own, and she...
Yeah.
This is insane.
Well, yeah.
The sheer audacity, look at Shannon's face, to let not one, but multiple. Even after one, you have no respect for that man, but multiple? This is so crazy.
There was a situation where there was a guy, and
Another one?
And this was, back then.
Yeah.
We praying for her now. It's all good.
Yeah.
But I had a feeling, you know what I mean, that she was
Did you know it?
talking to somebody. It was one of her friends that used to come over, right?
And,
I was working a lot. You know what I mean? So it was
Turn
one of those situations. And so I was dropping off the kid. I had a feeling, you know what I mean, that she was
Did you know it?
This young lady is not even for the streets. She is for the earth. Cheating, getting the viscous innards blasted into multiple times, getting multiple abortions during your marriage. I really don't know if it gets much worse than this. What's so crazy is that I grew up watching Kel, Keenan and Kel, Orange Soda, all of that ish. And I always thought that Kel was the much more talented one, but then Keenan went on to go to Saturday Night Live and all this stuff. And his career just blossomed, but we never ever heard from Kel. And this is most definitely one of the reasons why. He got his purpose intertwined with a she-demon. As a man, you can never be at your best when you wake up each and every morning to a traitor. Your life is filled with toxicity. Your life is filled with drama. You over here looking at your children like, shit, are they even mine? Apparently the ex-wife responded. Let's get active.
So, Kel, who is this person that was pregnant? Because
She got crazy
it
eyes.
was not me. Who was this? And then other thing is how do you remember all these pregnancies, but you don't remember your kids for years? I don't even know, 13, I don't know, 14. And then how do you remember all these pregnancies, but you
She's
don't
deflecting.
remember Nick, in my cheerleading outfit, right? How does your memory work exactly? Because you remember lots of things about me from a long time ago, and it just kind of odd, how your memory works. You don't remember, I don't know, do you remember your daughter in a car accident? Do you remember your son losing his tooth? Do you remember taking your kids' money? Do you remember being completely...
Okay, there's more content to this. We can review in a second, but my G's, this is why I tell you guys so often, it is so important who you choose, who you pick. Looking at 20 seconds of her face all the way up to a camera like this, deflecting, not responding to any of the things that he was saying before, but instead utilizing other components of the relation. Like, this chick is crazy, right? There's so many crazy vibes that I get from her. What are y'all doing? I usually would say something like the first one to show receipts is the winner in cases like this. But the amount of deflecting and gaslighting, so what if he did all of those different things? Let's say it was 100% true. Did you have 2 abortions in a marriage? I sense an immense amount of cap within this one.
Physically, mentally abusive. Do you remember that you used to beat me and hit me and choke me and strangle me when I would come out the hospital because I have sickle beta thalassemia disease? Do you remember that? Do you remember that you were addicted to sex? Do you remember that? Do you remember me catching you with a man? Do you remember that? Do you remember you using the money that I created to pay for an entire woman's place? Do you remember that? Do you remember, taking the kids to Chicago and not telling me? Do you remember unilaterally filing for divorce and then moving back in with your mistress? Do you remember that? It's just, your memory is so strange. Like, do you remember that you didn't have any money for 5 years and the studio physically told you that, basically told everybody that you were dead, and so I had to write a pilot for you? Do you remember that I wanted to be a mathematician, but instead I decided to be in a rap group with you? Do you remember that? Do you remember that when no one else was talking about you, I produced and wrote Kale Videos Live? Do you remember? Do you remember I also wrote and produced Ganked? Do you remember that? Do you remember that movie that you did with Cedric the Entertainer, the one that I gave you? Do you remember that you took that and you sold it for $2,500? Do you remember that? Because your memory is so interesting to me, because I don't know why you didn't remember that I don't even like bodily fluids. So that I was actually relieved to find out when you were cheating. When I found out you were cheating, I was relieved. Did you remember that? Told you that, basically told everybody that you were dead. Remember that I lost my virginity to you? Do you remember that? Your memory is interesting. So I think we should, let's figure out, let's sit down. Let's have a sit down and let's think about, this memory. I have a few items that might, jog your mind to help you with some of that memory. I don't know if this is like, beginning Alzheimer's or something, but yeah, let's talk about it though, because I'm ready.
Kale done married one that is a Super Saiyan in reputation destruction. I have no idea who to believe in this situation. It's so damn toxic. Here's the thing. I don't know how he would lie about something like that, because it is so embarrassing to come forward with. And when they come out with this mental and physical abuse stuff, it's less likely for me to believe. Nevertheless, moral of the story is, keep your nose clean when you're selecting, because if you select a harbinger of the night, it may ruin your life.
The reason why so many women are treating dating like a hustle and are only out for monetary gain and luxury experiences is because when situationships became a thing, that really dehumanized dating, and it became an emotionally unfulfilling experience for women. So if you're going to waste my time, I might as well gain something. Thank you.
Situations became a thing because women allowed them. You allowed sexually liberated slut culture to seep into your music. You adored shows such as Sex and the City, magazines such as Cosmopolitan, and you walked at your slut walks, your feminist rallies. You know who's the biggest supporter of slut walks? Men who want sluts. Go ahead, fight for your right to be a whore. We love it. Keeps my dick wet. You fell for the propaganda hook, line, and sinker, and so many of your modern or your westernized counterparts follow each other like lemmings. So just to say that situations became a thing is just half the story. Situations became a thing because you allowed it, and men are just adapting to modern times. So if you want to justify dating by just going for the bag, i.e. being a lightweight escort, at least understand the proper history. When you just want flowers from her husband. Processing what's happening. What is happening?
Your husband was wrongfully convicted. How long would you wait for him?
6 months max. And we've been together 15 years.
How long would you wait for her?
Did you not hear the wrongfully in that convicted, ma'am? You gotta just laugh at this point. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't get actually angry at the things that you hear. You just go abroad, right? Like, like 6 months. Whoa. How you go from till death do you part to, oh, sorry, you were wrongfully accused. You got 6 months, bitch. Figure it out. Whoa.
And we've been together 15 years.
How long would you wait for her?
Forever.
5.
Don't lie.
5
5 what?
months.
Good, dude. You should get back on Hinge immediately. How long would you wait for him?
I wouldn't.
No,
Fuck
your husband?
that. No, fuck that.
Even if he's wrongfully convicted?
How would I know if it's wrongful?
I could prove it.
A year minimum.
Year max, and you got to get back to Hinge.
I'd wait.
How long?
How long are we talking?
10 years, 15 years.
I'd wait 10 years.
She would wait, but it's all right.
Yeah, 1 week.
Yeah,
that's
I already have a dude already ready to go at that time.
The best man, bro.
Right? Exactly.
Oh, every time.
All time, every time.
If your man was wrong,
You know what's so interesting about these is that it's always important when you're having discussions with women in relation to, I guess, relationships, quantify things. That's why Kevin Samuels, he was so impactful when he used to ask women, how much would it cost for your submission? When he used to ask women, how much your man have to make in order for you to see, yeah, that's my minimum requirement. Quantify things. Quantifying how long that she would wait if you were wrongfully convicted. Like, wow. The westernized modern woman today already ready to move on. That's why I don't feel bad about this shit. Because when you begin to understand how they think about things, you can't feel bad anymore. You got to do what's best for you.
wrongfully convicted, how long would you wait for him?
Not even a day.
Wrongfully.
What?
Okay, if your husband was wrongfully convicted, how long would you wait?
You probably did it. A year.
For your husband?
Yeah.
When I get the older generation that asks me what's wrong with marriage today, and it's that men are setting themselves up for something where they get the shit end of the stick, not only from a choice perspective of who's in the dating pool, but then also from a law perspective when it comes down to a divorce and family law. But when you raise a society of women that want men, are trained to not need men, with a low barometer of hate for men for the victimhood narratives or the issues in their entitled plush world, you begin to understand why they have these thoughts, why they don't appreciate men, hardworking men, or the infrastructure that continues to make this world go round and round. This is so sickening, and I know there's some women that's down up in there like, no, this is not me. I know this doesn't represent y'all, but y'all need to address the women in your circle that you know live by this standard. They wonder why no man sees them as marriage material, yet this is how they think about not only marriage, but then also men. Until next time, you two. Peace!
You don't wanna see me get vexed. Bars on your phone, tell a man you can't jack. The big the ones who can't stretch. Breaking the neck when we in the car next. You don't wanna see me get vexed. Bars on your phone, tell a man you can't jack. The big the ones who can't stretch. Breaking the neck when we in the car next. That bars need defibrillation ASAP. Get boxed with a straight guy. I'm reminded of mind state they lack. Every time that they incline, we go way back. All they wanna be is just